in the kitchen and had to follow the most strict rule set by the chief chef of all the do's and don'ts in the kitchen. In addition, CURA also noticed that even though his cooking seemed to meet the cousins' appetites, some of them would quietly, behind his back, sprinkle their own spices on their plates to add to the taste. Yet, ever so polite, they would always thank CURA for the meals. "It is very good. Yes, it is very good." Oh, feeling for the cousins and recognizing his own limitation in creating cultural authenticity in his cooking, CURA became even more determined to find ways to truly serve the needs of these people and be the best cook he wanted to be. Finally, the opportunity came. The chief chef had to go out of town for several days to attend a culinary event. So, the kitchen was left all to CURA. For the first time, the cousins were invited into the kitchen to help CURA prepare their own meal. With great apprehension, the cousins entered the kitchen. When they saw the big space with all the gadgets in the kitchen, their eyes opened wide. It was so different from what they were used to having back home. CURA showed the cousins where the pots and pans were and explained how to use each of the kitchen equipment. The cousins were encouraged to come up with their own menu for the evening and started rolling up their sleeves to prepare for the meal. CURA had never heard this much happy chattering from the cousins. They were busy talking and asking each other what their most favorite foods were and what ingredients might upset their stomachs. They even talked about creating new dishes, and one suggested to cook the venison meat with the spices he brought to bring out the flavor. They started cutting, chopping, seasoning, steaming, stewing, and stir-frying. They did their very first meal planning and the preparation for the first time since their arrival at their rich cousin's mansion. They never thought they would be allowed to do so. Now, they felt that they belonged. They were busy, they were happy, and they were cooking with reckless abandon. CURA was amazed to see the cousins in action and how they were transformed right in front of his eyes. The cousins would sample every dish until it was to their satisfaction, and then they would ask CURA to try. As CURA was tasting each dish held in the cousin's hands, they circled in on him, watching him with nervousness. While still savoring the taste, CURA slowly uttered out the words, "This is absolutely wonderful." The cousins were stunned, speechless, and suddenly they burst out in laughter. Oh, they laughed so hard you could see the sparkle, and for some, tears of joy in their eyes. That evening, CURA decided to invite the rich man along with his local guests to come for the feast. The rich man arrived home just in time for the feast and was surprised by what he saw. Although not everyone accepted the invitation, but those guests that came were enjoying the experience and the warm, joyful atmosphere. There were wine glasses clinking, along with toasting and singing by many people at the table, including the cousins. It was indeed the happiest time for the cousins since they arrived in the land of abundance. When the feast was over and the guests were gone, the cousins humbly bowed to the rich cousin with heartfelt gratitude and returned to their rooms. This time, the food truly fed their hunger and nourished their souls. Late at night, as CURA was cleaning the kitchen and scrubbing the floor, he was whistling with a sense of pride and accomplishment. He loved his work at the rich man's house and felt tremendous honor in serving the cousins and learning from them in the kitchen. Knowing that the chief chef was due to return the next day, CURA remained hopeful that there would be many, many great feasts to come for everyone to enjoy. The end, or the beginning of a new chapter.